it's going to be troubling.
Yeah, toast. But when Jordan Spieth plays, just like Rory, when Jordan Spieth plays well, when he gets in the mix, it's very exciting because of what the young man has done early in his career. So hopefully, gets things back on track. Hopefully he gets that confidence back. He gets that swagger that we kind of saw walking down there, and kind of that gunslinger mentality that he can go out there and shoot 65 in the toughest conditions.
Tiger making his way to the range, beginning his warm-up with the wedges, very similar to what I saw yesterday early morning on the range, and I think I shared with you guys his practice sessions now in preparation for a round. I get the sense it's really about efficiency and being economical, quite simply, due to the back and the body. You can't go out and pound balls in preparation or pound balls to warm up. You sort of just have to maybe let the body respond to what you're doing a little bit.
Well, he's made the statement that he no longer is going to be able to go out there and not play with some degree of pain. It's just, okay, where is it? Where's my mobility, flexibility? Where is it on that particular day? But he's figured out a way to work around it, and hopefully he plays well today. Like I said, if he shoots under par today,
could be in the top 10 by days.
All of a sudden, he may become the betting favorite.
Well, he's certainly a player that would like to see tougher conditions. I think a really good target for Tiger today would be 70. Frankly, if he said to himself, how can I go out there and get around Winged Foot in 70 shots, +3 is going to be a pretty comfy spot, I think, by the end of the day. And he knows that. He absolutely knows that right now.
When you guys take a look at him warming up, you see the top tracer and spitting off the numbers. Anything jump out to you? As again, it's a warm-up in preparation, but maybe shots he's thinking about, or ball flights or ball shapes.
I think when we get to the longer clubs, I think that's going to give us kind of a sense of where the golf swing is. Right now, this is just kind of getting in the flow.
I think he looks pretty good right now,
Me
Steve.
Too.
There's a freedom that we're seeing right now in this swing. It's just a short iron, but I don't get a sense that his back is causing him any issues. You see him sometimes walking with that sort of stiff gait. He looked really good when he was coming out there to me, walking out there.
And you think about that, he's documented with early tee times that he might have to get up at 2:33, 3:30 in the morning to spend 60 to 90 minutes to get ready. So when you have an afternoon tee time, not that he sleeps a lot, as we know.
Correct.
But he could get up at 6 or 7 and not feel rushed to, okay, I've got to get this done now. Sort of let the body warm up. We all know as we get older, sometimes you get out of bed and just one of those nights where you don't feel so good.
Very important, and when he was talking yesterday, the maintenance of his body and how he goes about it allows him the ability to work on his golf game, work on his golf swing. So it's hand in hand to where you get the body to where it can do what you want to do in the golf swing.
Yeah, he will tell you he has to warm up in order to warm up.
Correct.
And then after he warms up, then maybe he can practice. But he's got to go through so much to get himself ready to go practice. It's a big commitment time-wise.
And I will tell you that I've maybe seen one warm-up session that I wasn't impressed with.
Go back to when he won the Masters in 2019. Remember that Sunday they had to move tee times up because of impending weather? I forget what he told us. Like, yeah, I'm going to get up about 2:30, 3 o'clock to spend the 90 minutes to warm up, to get to the course around 4:35. You know, again, a lot. These guys just don't show up,
Yeah,
pound 20 balls, and
Exactly.
go shoot 65.
Yeah, it's not an 8-hour day. It's a 14-hour day for Tiger to play 18 holes of golf competitively.
We've been talking about the peaks and valleys of Jordan Spieth, of Danny Willett. When you're looking at one of the all-time greats to ever play the game, we saw that Pebble Beach retrospect from 20 years ago, but it has not been a straight line for Tiger with the body and everything else. I mean, here's somebody that become, the best or
Ball was going. His dad was back home in Kentucky and called his dad, and his dad just sent him a video. Didn't really say much to him at all. Sent him a video of a year or two earlier, and that was it. Look at this. Go play better tomorrow. And it wasn't some long, involved, drawn out.
And thank you
scene.
and thank you for telling that story.
Yeah.
Because if the player can see it, they can correct it.
Yeah.
Because feel what you feel you're doing and what you're actually doing. Okay, they can be worlds apart. But if the player sees it, understands it, they can figure it out.
back to the range with Tiger. See Patrick Reed as well.
Both these guys, it's interesting. You see the two of them together, Tiger and Patrick. They're both pretty stubborn guys in general, and I think they both have really mellowed out in the last couple of years. I was talking earlier about Le Golf National. That would have been 2 years ago this week, the Ryder Cup in Paris. And these two, they're right side by side there, played an alternate shot match on Saturday morning that I was out with. And Patrick drove 2 balls into penalty areas and hit 1 out of bounds in alternate shot, but wouldn't put the driver down. Tiger was kind of walking down the other side of the fairway, and it was just kind of some stubbornness that I was seeing there, and they got beat. And I look at the two of them now, and I think they're both kind of starting to mellow out a little bit.
You can always continue to learn and change a little bit, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s. The ability to adapt and pivot. In the LPGA, as we go back out to the range, watching Tiger now working his way through his bag, Mark.
Yeah, and I will mention after you read that promo, it's just so great for me to see these governing bodies from around the world of golf working together, the USGA and the LPGA. Drive, chip, and putt did a lot to forge that sort of relationship. It's great to see them all working together. And Tiger Woods has got everything working together this morning with the swing. Looks really good to me, aggressive through the ball. Let's take a look at the numbers on this one. About 6 feet of curve for him. Probably a, 5-iron maybe for Tiger, 4 or 5-iron.
When he goes through the warm-up session, it kind of goes wedge, then he'll go 7, then he'll go 4. So I think you're right with the 4 mark for the judge. Whereas if it's more of a piercing wedge shot, short shot, I think it's more predictable as a player.
Tiger now, driver in hand. Let's see what we get from him here as he finishes up the warm-up, going off 127, so about 25 minutes from now.
Okay, you got 2 pretty straight ones. You have a looper that went left. That's what he doesn't want to see.
There's a little bit of angst on that one that I saw with his face. Let's see. 295. Carried the ball speed was 170. He's not going to have to hit this club for about an hour. He's going to start at the 10th tee. I doubt he would hit driver off that 11th tee now. He will when he gets over to 12. So half hour, 45 minutes maybe.
Yeah, and typically the last club that he'll strike warming up
will be the one he's going to use on his opening tee shot.
And with it being a par 3,
4 iron,
I
5 iron,
I kind of wonder if it's going to be that.
That's pretty good right there.
Yeah, similar numbers.
I kind of like what I'm seeing right here, Rolf. I think he does too.
He could probably tell you what those numbers are without looking at any kind of a machine. He's amazing. He knows. He can just feel how much the ball's spinning or what his launch angle was.
First one was 295 carry. Second one was 294 carry. That one was 296 carry.
We're just revving up a little bit.
I don't really think he needs to try and do anything other than that.
Yeah. Get it into play. Hit some fairways.
I'm in
hit
total
some greens.
agreement. Yeah. It's a United States Open Championship. And it's good to see that this club right here becomes relevant again, important. That was our fairway finder right there, 289.
Dustin Johnson will tell you he's at about 80% most of the time with his driver. He's not standing up there swinging as hard as he can.
Finau's the same way.
Yeah, that's
Finau can push
right.
it. Finau can push it up there, 204, 205 as well if he wanted to. But
why?
Exactly.
when your 80% goes 300,
yeah.
You don't need much more.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. You know, when Tiger came back after the last back surgery, you know, his swing speed was 120 miles an hour. He was hitting the ball just amazing distances. But that didn't really last long, and he knew it wouldn't last long if he wanted to have any more length to his career. So I liked what we saw there.
And you added on the tee the other day after the Giants lost to the Steelers, and I'm a Jets fan, but it didn't take long for us to realize both our teams might not be very good this year.
One game in, and the towel's out.
There's not a ton going on with the Jets. The continual rebuild. And luckily I'm not old enough that I was around for Joe Namath's win, so I'm 0 for the Jets. Possibly the club he's thinking about on 10. Might not be long enough.
No, that's a little more lofted club than he'll use at 10. That looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good.
Why would he work his way back down after the driver, Billy, and maybe not hitting that 4 or 5 iron that we'd see on 10? Is it just keep building up a little rhythm, a little feel?
Well, you start swinging a driver, you swing too many drivers, and then you go to the first tee, your first tee, even though it's the 10th hole, the par 3. You still need to know where the bottom of the swing is, and when you hit a bunch of drivers and they're on a tee, I think the players feel as though, okay, it's a different swing. I'm a little more on the upswing. I want to launch it just a little bit more, but now you're trying to find the bottom of the swing. You want to make sure that you compress the ball nicely, and I think that's all that he's doing right now.
Fifteen-time major champ, 3-time winner of the United States Open.
You know, unlike Phil Mickelson, who spent so much time out here yesterday prior to his round that he had to be somewhat fatigued. I mean, you just at the age of 50 can't spend 4 hours doing that. Tiger, I know, was disappointed with his finish, and you know, you got to think he made.